You can always leave. Okay, we're doing a moonwalk.
Let's start with the question of whether or not the state threatens people. Imagine a desert island.
Okay.
Alden lives with a few other people.
Alden? Wait. Is this really from 10 years ago? This feels kind of prescient. Huh. So this was like the Garden of Eden for all the memes.
On this island. One day he meets Jeff. Jeff says,
"That's me.
Give me your ball.
That's me.
Or you'll get a beating."
Jeff's threatening Alden with violence, right?
Yeah, of course. But taxpayers aren't being threatened like that. No one actually gets attacked for...
Okay, so is the argument that... Wait, hold on. I have a feeling this isn't about corporate coercion. This is instead about whether or not the government is coercing you by taxing you, to which the answer is, it is. And it's good. So I feel like a lot of the arguments here are going to go over my head. Not over my head in the sense that I don't get them, but it's like they don't affect me. Because like, hey, did you know the state taxing you and threatening to arrest you if you don't pay your taxes is coercion? I would say like, yeah, based.
But this isn't a good analogy for taxation. For one thing, modern states use taxes to provide services that help people.
Okay. So what if you learned that Jeff just wanted to improve Alden's ball and give it back to him as a surprise?
What? Wait, that's fucking dumb. Wait, that's not an accurate description of the state providing social services. A better example would be the big guy. Alden is the big guy, right? Is the big guy Alden or the little guy Alden? Alden and Jeff. Okay. A better example would be like Jeff clearing passages through the jungle on the island and collecting the food on the island and setting it aside and then like asking for the ball in exchange for the use of those services. Like this implies that the services being provided are utterly trivial and also only being done with the property taken, which is not the case. The state does this with property it already owns, like the roads.
I guess I don't see Jeff as so much of a bad guy anymore, but he is still threatening Alden, which isn't okay. There are more differences between Jeff and the state, though. The state relies on taxation so that it can provide stuff that just wouldn't be possible otherwise, like roads.
Private roads do exist, you know.
Okay, this has always been the biggest cope art. You know how libertarians make fun of the, but who will build the roads? The reason they make fun of it is because they don't have an answer for it. The road network, millions and millions of miles of roads that stretch between every house and every building. You ready to have a toll on all of them? Yeah, no. In terms of private roads, like the private roads being referred to are usually either driveways on property roads or toll roads, which are often subsidized by the state anyway and maintained by the state.
Alright then, essential services like firefighters.
There are private fire services too.
Yeah, like in Rome, you know, those went really well. It's true. There are private fire. Okay, just because if the answer is going to be like, yeah, there's a private version of this. Yeah, no shit. There's a private version of everything. That's not like an argument in favor of its defense, you know? Like you can find wooden spoons. Like, don't we want spoons that are made of metal? Yeah, but there are wooden spoons. Like, okay, but I think metal spoons are better, you know? There are spoons made of paper, you know?
Now he wants his gold coins. He's collecting money to build a fish farm. There was a serious fish shortage last month, and Alden agrees that a farm would be a good idea. He doesn't trust Jeff with his money. He'd prefer to use it in other ways. Jeff says, "The farm will benefit everyone, and everyone else has paid their share. It just wouldn't be fair if you didn't chip in."
That is true, yes. If everyone is going to benefit from the farm, you know, in this like deserted island, it would be pretty fair if everyone chipped. I don't know what gold coins are going to do on an island, but you know, like, okay.
That's why you'll get a beating if you don't hand over the money.
Jeff just wants to prevent Alden from free riding on an improvement that will help everyone.
But isn't he still threatening Alden with violence?
Yes, and it's based.
Alright. But in a modern democracy, it's the people who decide the law through their representatives.
This is such a bad argument. The skeleton should be like, yeah, and it's based, actually. Yeah. Uh-huh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Some of the islanders decide that there should be a ruler with certain powers that other islanders don't have. This ruler is chosen by a vote, and Jeff was the first winner. Like before, Jeff is telling Alden to pay towards the improvements he has planned. If Alden doesn't surrender the money demanded, he'll be told to hand over even more. If he consistently refuses, eventually, the island guards will show up at his house, take him away, and lock him up. When his kidnappers arrive, Alden could try to get them to leave by shouting a warning and drawing a weapon.
Whoa. Why even have this whole thing be a deserted island analogy if you're going to keep what are we talking? What the fuck is going on here? Jesus Christ! Put the gun down, man. Put the gun down. Oh my God.
The guards hardly ever use actual violence against people like Albin. As long as most people at least have the idea that resistance is futile, that's enough to keep the state functioning.
That is true. The state is an entity that maintains a monopoly on violence.
Because the guards very rarely need to use violence, people might even forget that the state is ultimately ready to use deadly force to secure obedience.
Yes. Hey, quick question. In a libertarian society, what would happen if two entities agreed to a contract and then one side broke it? Oh, you'd take them to a third party court. What if they didn't show up? Oh, you'd repossess you. Okay, what if they had a gun? Oh, well, you'd hire guards to... Oh, okay, what if they fired at you? Oh, wow, we arrived at the exact same position. It turns out the only way to ever make anyone do anything for sure is to point a gun at them. Turns out that's how society works. Moving on.
Yes, okay, so maybe taxation does depend on threats of violence. But that doesn't mean that taxation is theft. Every citizen is bound by the...
Taxation isn't theft because theft doesn't just mean any time you take or get something. Theft is a specific legal thing that happens. Taxation is just... The ultimate reason why taxation isn't theft is because money is printed by the government and given out to the people within a given area as a way of facilitating commerce with the expectation that it ultimately be used to enable the power of the state. Like, currency doesn't come from a fucking, tree branch, right? The U.S. Mint, the Treasury, they print dollars and coins and such because they want to facilitate commerce, but that doesn't come for free. It costs money to print and distribute, to maintain. U.S. fiscal policy is incredibly complicated. None of this happens for free, you know? That's why the analogy keeps saying gold coins. Yeah, but even then, even if we didn't have a fiat currency, there's still a lot of regulatory stuff that goes into gold. It's not like we didn't have a Treasury Department before we adopted, or before we dropped the gold standard, you know?
The restaurant boss gets to set the rules because he owns the restaurant. It's being the owner of a thing that gives you the right to say who gets to use it and how.
Huh, interesting. All of a sudden, forcing people to do stuff, even if they haven't signed a contract, is okay as long as it's being done through a private property system. Okay, then what if just we replace the president with the CEO of America? Like, unironically, what if we just did that?
I live on land that was stolen less than 200 years ago. Does that mean I don't have a right to live there?
It's a good question. An ancestor of the person the land was stolen from could show up and demonstrate that they have a better claim on the land than you do. But if no surviving ancestors are interested, then it might...
Yo, based? This guy's saying that if a Native American dude shows up and is like, yeah, actually, I used to shit behind a tree right here where my great-great-great-grandfather did. Land back, baby. We're gonna get the whole of Middle America gonna be yeeted back. Let's go. In reality, libertarians don't tend to be pro-land back because it conflicts with their belief that white people are better people than non-white people. So usually you'll find their principles fall apart pretty quickly when it comes to this one.
Whatever it's used for, and however it's justified, taxation depends on a chain of increasingly unpleasant demands and punishments,
yes,
ultimately backed by deadly force. Some people believe the state maintains mass threats of violence against peaceful people, that it illegitimately claims ownership of the land we live on, and that it's an aggressive institution incompatible with a truly civil society.
This is a nice bit of, like, corpo-style propaganda. This is 10 years old, but it's pretty well made. I mean, the arguments are dog shit, but there's no good libertarian argument, really, so... But wouldn't warlords take over? Yes. Good meme. Amazing masterpiece of a video. True. Sad reality. Government have gunsted our land from a fucking Twilight Sparkle? 3D render. Is that Twilight Sparkle? That's not Applejack, right? Applejack is orange? That is? Okay. Yeah, I'm 18 and love your shit. We know. Deism Accountant, do you think I'm stupid? Are you insulting me? Deism Accountant says, you got that Alden was literally Coconut Island reverse, right? Deism Accountant, that subtlety very nearly slipped by me, but I appreciate you taking the time to make sure I got that little Easter egg. Thank you.